Bonjour, everybody. Hello, lovies. Welcome to another live stream episode of Ask V. It's been weeks since the last one, but I am back. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. Hello, my name is V, and I am your host for the segment Ask V from my YouTube channel, Channel V. If you have not joined the channel yet, be sure that you subscribe to it and that you turn on the bell so you're always updated with the newest uploads and episodes. I missed you guys, and I hope you missed me too. I miss doing live streams for you. And today is October 10, 2020. It's exactly 7:31 in the evening here in the Philippines. And wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you're doing well. And guess what? We only have 76 days before Christmas. Imagine. Just 76 days before we hit December 25th. I know it's not the same across the world, but hey, the mere fact that it's only less than 3 months before Christmas, it means that we are slaying it still and we are surviving. And to add to that, actually today we are celebrating as well World Mental Health Day. And we absolutely encourage you to take a break, detach from work, your problems, toxicity, treat yourself to something nice today, good food, long showers, massages, coffee and a book, or, just simply peace and quiet from all the negative vibes of daily life. Or talk to us tonight. Talk to us tonight, because tonight's episode is all about empowerment and some badass positivity. You heard me right, girlfriends, dudes, my in-between sisters and brothers. In this episode, we will discover the perks of being a bitch, and that is actually the good kind of bitch. And I do not intend for you to be a Karen or a Linda. What I'm trying to say is that you can be the most powerful version of yourself for yourself, and it is completely, absolutely okay. So for tonight, I have my boy squad, my resident co-host, Drew De Luna, and my guest gonna be resident co-host, my homeboy from Virginia, JT. What's up, you guys? Hello.
Yoza.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
We're good. What about you? Still sleepy. I can see that you're still like, what's going on?
Yeah. College is not. Yeah, just college.
We've been there. We've done that.
What's been cooking for you guys?
Surviving as always. Same old.
One exam each day.
Cool. I missed you guys. I mean, one exam each day. You're also taking online classes, I think.
Yes. I am.
Cool. I missed you.
Decent.
We haven't been doing this for quite some time now.
Yeah, we haven't. How long?
2, 3?
I don't know. I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I've been busy with work, so I apologize really for not being able to show up on schedule.
We've been actually busy with our work here on our end. Yeah.
It's
been
all right.
It's been a hell of a week.
Hell of a week and still counting.
Yes.
Cool. All right. I just want to say a quick hello to our early birds right now. We have Renette Ocampo, Noel Perez, Juliana Faith Santos Seguin, Jamil Garcia, Grace Rodriguez, and one of my students said right here, let me just up her comment on the screen. Hello, pretty teacher. Hello back, pretty teacher. Thank you for joining the live stream for tonight. All right, so for tonight, like what I said, our topic is all about bitchiness and sassiness, right? But when I refer to the term bitch, I don't really mean the bitch kind like Karens and Lindas would be in the society right now. What I'm trying to say is the good kind of bitch. And to formally open our discussion for this evening, let me ask you a quick question because, I need some gentleman perspective right now. How do you perceive a bitch?
There's two ways.
What's your opinion?
One,
let's listen to it.
Who has a good badass attitude, or two, who's considered as a weakling. There's two levels on that.
All right. So the good kind of bitch for you is somebody who has a good badass attitude, and the opposite of it would be somebody who's weak. All right. Cool. What about you, Drew? What's your perception of a bitch?
Well, for one thing, we have to be really careful with how we use that word as we are discussing it, because it can mean differently in different contexts. So as we move along, we'll be able to clarify on how such word would mean in different ways. But for one thing, if we'll be attaching the word being empowered with that word, then it's something that you are capable of being yourself, being able to stand on your own, being autonomous, being independent, that kind of lineage. But of course, it really depends on how you execute it, on how the tone of your voice when you're saying it.
Yes.
So we really have to clarify. Sabi mo nga kanina sa intro ko na we are to discuss this kind of word in a context in which it's positive, and it's something that is uplifting for the self.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, I want to say hello to my bitches right now. We have Camille Salonga, Deborah Kim Dakanay, Alan Christian, Kananan Carlos, Audrey Gail Cura Baking, Camille Manalad, and AJ Pascual UC. We're actually doing this live stream not to, I don't know, humiliate or degrade the word bitch, but to actually give our viewers a different take on it.
Yeah.
You know, especially that we live in a country where it's very conservative, and the concept of a bitch would be something that is associated to negative attitude or, you know, things that are unacceptable in the society. But now in this age and time, being a bitch is no longer, you know, the same concept that we know of in the past. It's totally different. That's why this discussion is very important. And speaking of bitch, these are the definitions I found from the internet. Well, according to Google, technically a bitch is a noun meaning a female dog, wolf, fox, or an otter. Or informally, according to Google, it is a difficult or an unpleasant situation or thing or an individual. From the Urban Dictionary, it is a person who is difficult, offensive, tactless, mean, obnoxious, audacious. The Karen, the Linda, right? But for the context of this episode, we shall give a 360-degree turn for the word bitch. And the meaning of bitch in this situation would be a person or an individual who is headstrong, upfront, assertive, confident, embraces his or her flawsomeness, and is not sorry for loving herself or himself above all else. With all due respect to other people, right? And so the basis of our discussion will be on that definition of a bitch, and we are discussing the particulars according to elitedaily.com. That is our primary source. And the first one of which I'm going to flash now on the screen, and Drew will read it for us because I believe you have the copy of it. There you go.
The first one is, you don't hold court with toxic people.
And what does it mean? It means...
Should I read it? Yeah, so it simply means there by reading it, you don't waste your time in the company of terrible people who make you feel like, shh. You recognize toxic people for what they are, a drain on your self-esteem and resources. You won't allow yourself to be influenced by individuals who bring no value to your life. You simply do not have the time and have no problem cutting people if they can't hang. So basically, sinasabi niya dito is that if certain people are toxic in your lives, well, simply you just have to let them go, or just try not to put so much emphasis on them in your life.
And you know, in this kind of discussion under number one or the first subtopic, it only shows that a person who is a bitch does not like drama.
Yeah.
Like if all you give me is negativity and problems and toxicity, I don't have time for that. Shh. You know, I'd rather do something more productive. I'd rather do something more beneficial for myself and for other people than spend the rest of my day talking to you or solving your issues. right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of courage. Yeah. It takes a lot of courage to avoid toxic people because most of the time you would confront them, we would deal with them. Alam mo yun, kakausapin natin sila, makikipag-away tayo sa kanila. We would consume energy, time, effort just to resolve certain issues with them. But a bitch, once she understands na, okay, this is not going anywhere. There's no point in talking it out to you, and I'm not going to waste any more time with you. So I'm going to walk out. You do you, I do me. What do you think, Justin?
No, I totally agree for both of you guys because I was in that similar situation when there's a weird vibe of drama when somebody's like yelling at each other. I told myself, just don't be in the middle anymore. Don't get yourself involved. Stand up, walk away. Because I don't like to. When I'm hearing people yelling at each other, I actually hear two bitches barking at each other. So I'd rather be the better person to actually just don't get themselves involved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always about positive vibes when it comes to that kind of situations.
Mm-hmm. And in addition to that, I just want to say that a bitch would actually not waste her time trying to assert herself or her value. Like, I know who I am. I know what I am. I know what I'm capable of. So there's no point really in pinpointing this and that to you if you don't see it face value. And I think that's a good and positive attitude of a person because you know your worth, you know your value, and you don't have to argue with somebody who does not see that or does not respect that for that matter. All right. And now I'm posting a question to our viewers because I want them to join us. I want to know, guys, girls, ladies, in-betweens, our queer brothers and sisters, what is your concept of a lady bitch and a man bitch? Just put your comments on the comment section. Let us know, how do you perceive a bitch? Okay. And we have a comment right here from Alan Christian Carlos. He said, I love bitches, but not a kind you're thinking, Mars. Sabi niya. Well, define for us what's your concept of a bitch.
Yeah.
Right? Because a bitch could be anything. It could be something for you and something else for us. But we've defined it already for, the sake of having the discussion. So let us know. What is your concept of a bitch? And I would actually ask this question to as early as now, since na-open na ni Alan Christian Carlos. Gentlemen, which would you rather date? Somebody who's a bitch, strong, independent, high maintenance, works for herself, or somebody who's completely the opposite, dependent, clingy, needy, emotional? So let me know. Which one would you rather date? Somebody who's a bitch in that sense, or somebody who's the opposite?
Justin.
And now you're quiet.
I was waiting for you. That's your line.
Anyway,
obviously, a person like me with good confidence, assertive. Let's say if you feel that kind of same energy, you guys can click immediately. If it's a person who's the opposite, that means you're doing more of the extra work because you have to engage all the conversations, engage on where to go. So it's wasting his time and it's gaining her time, or vice versa. When a girl is doing all the work and the guy is being a lazy bum, so there's two definitions of bitches. The guy or girl who's not doing the work is the bitch, the weakling, and the opposite, who is trying to make the work and engage in conversation, engage in activities, is being assertive. That's the real bitch right there.
Mm-hmm. The strong one.
The strong one, yes.
Yeah, so you definitely go date somebody who's like you, independent, strong-minded, even if she's high maintenance. What about you, Drew? Would you date somebody who's a bitch, or I'll go for the someone I could take care and
the typical, the typical romantic, sweet,
yeah,
from that kind of thing. Well, for one thing, if it's today, it's important that we consider, especially for relationships, we consider people who are able to stand on their own feet. Someone who are not necessarily aggressive, because that's actually one characteristic of having this kind of personality. But at least they are able to assert what their beliefs, their principles. They're direct, and they really know what they want. So they won't beat behind the bush or whatnot. There is though a characteristic with these kinds of people that they occupy a lot of psychological space. You know that they're there. The moment that you are in the moment that they enter a certain space, they're heard. Their silence is heard. I know that's very vague to say, but that's how
an
they
ironic
are.
thing.
Yeah. But it speaks a lot of them because at least they know how to handle themselves. They know how to carry themselves. They have this level of confidence and self-worth that is radiating from them, and people are noticing it. Okay, so if you'll be asking me if what I prefer, if I'll be someone who in our culture, sabi nga nila, kung gusto mong pabebe ba, o at least yung parang kaya niyang dalhin ng sarili niya, I think I would prefer people who are able to carry themselves than
of
those
course.
who are just playing around.
Definitely. It's also the same for us ladies. I mean, we want a man who's a boss man bitch. We don't want somebody who bumps around, who we should take care all the time. You're the guy. I mean, in the relationship, you have to know what you want. You have to be assertive as well. And I don't think it will be good for your ego if, we're much bitchier than you are, because we'll be a lot more difficult to handle, right? And if you want to date somebody, you have to go for someone who knows what he wants, who he is. And I have to agree, Drew, it's the aura. Like without even having to talk, when you see somebody, this dude, man, bitch. That girl, yeah, you slaying it, bitch. So, I don't know. Probably it's confidence. Not necessarily arrogance, but confidence.
Confidence.
Yeah. Because if it's arrogance.
Yeah. I think that's also a way for people having these kinds of personality that they're able to limit the people that enter their lives because of that kind of facade that they have. So, going back to our item number 1 regarding, you don't hold court with toxic people, at least you're able to filter out those who are able to carry you, those who are able to jive with you, than those who are not capable of really. I mean, on your end, as the one who's they're interacting with, you're very much open, you're able to accommodate them. But eventually, at the end of that kind of that dialogue or that kind of give and take kind of instance, you definitely know if you can move further with these kinds of people, or just stay there.
Yeah. So basically, if you are a bitch when you know that you're selective with people, like you're toxic, let's cut it off. I don't need you in my life. You're good. Okay, we could be friends. Those kind of dynamics. And speaking of that dynamic, Norlin Victoria said, now I'm thinking, am I a bitch? I don't know, bitch. You tell us. Are you a bitch? Right?
You can show your bitchiness. Come on, girl.
Yeah. Tell us. What makes you think that you're a bitch? What makes you think you're empowered? What makes you think you're assertive, confident, independent? Let us know. Drop your comments below. And speaking of comments, I just want to say hello again to the people who added onto the list. My mom is watching right now. Hello, bitch. This is my queen bee. This is my queen bee. I mean, if there's an independent, headstrong, assertive, confident woman, it's going to be my mom. I got it from my mama. I want to say hello to John Pangan, who's watching from Taiwan. Hello to Team Sihoku. I missed you guys. I haven't been live streaming for a while, and thank you for joining on a Saturday. And then Carlo Tayag is also here. Hello. And then Precious Miles David is also here. And we have another comment right here from Alan Christian Carlos. He said, a man bitch is someone who thinks he knows everything and he loves sticking his nose to everything. Actually, if that's how you define a man bitch, we respect that. But I think I would hate a man if he sticks his nose onto everything. What do you mean by that? Like somebody who wants to nosy, somebody who's nosy?
Nosy, violating privacy, not giving boundary lines. Just say, for example, if I have to go with my homeboys, but I'll say in this context, if a girl goes out with her girlfriends to the bar, to the club, so he's asking, where are you going? who you with, who's gonna be there. Is a guy's gonna like grope you or anything. So that loses the confidence of a guy, and they become insecure. I think I was saying that's a definition for that.
Okay, so it's the negative kind of a man bitch. Somebody who loses his confidence and becomes insecure because, I don't know, probably he does not trust people around him, or that he does not know his own worth. So he's worried about what his girlfriend might do behind his back, given the context that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's not
cool.
good.
But what about a pop? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So on the other spectrum, if this is the negative kind of a man bitch, a positive man bitch would be somebody like, where are you going, girlfriend? Just chilling with my girls. All right, have fun. Do you have money? You want me to pick you up if you get drunk and whatnot? Is that a good kind of a man bitch?
Well, yeah, it's giving like a reward afterwards. If she know if your partner knows that you come home safe or you had a good time, of course the guy's gonna or girl's gonna be rewarded from it. So you just became a man / woman bitch in that context right there.
Yeah. All right. So again, the confidence level must be there, and the self-trust, the self-worth, not to be worried and insecure about things that he couldn't control. Cool. All right. We're still waiting for Norlin's reply. Why do you think you're a bitch? Let us know. And the rest of you who are watching us right now, I posted a question a while back. What is your perception, or what is your definition of a woman bitch and a man bitch? Let us know in the comment sections. And right now we're moving to the next one, right? Because there are a lot of them and we don't want to waste time, really. The second one is that science says swearing is good for you. And one of the go-to, I don't know, exercises or activities of bitches is that they swear a lot. It says right here in the article, if there's one thing a bitch likes to do, it's effing swearing. It's therapeutic. Research has shown people who curse are less stressed, confident, and just plain hotter than other people. Not to mention, every bitch knows the most important thing in any given situation is to get her point across. With the help of your swear word peppered speech, your message will come across loud and clear. I guess what this sub-article is trying to tell here is that you know what you want to say, you say it assertively, in a very assertive way. It's just that sometimes, because you know you're a bitch, you give some extra in your statements and you kind of use some curse words right there to intensify what you want to tell people. Your thoughts. Is cursing a good thing for somebody who's a bitch, or it's an offensive one?
Mr. Drew, you take this one first.
Yeah, I'll be taking this one. Don't worry, I'm prepared.
Well, I'm not prepared.
I don't know about you guys, but I'll just chill here. No banger.
Anyways, how should I explain this in a very academic way? There are a lot of research who would justify this claim that swearing, cursing is actually a good habit that we should develop over time. Of course, during early years of our lives, that part we need to lessen it a bit. But eventually, as we move across our mature, developed days, that's a time that we're able to explore and able to understand the meaning behind those words clearer. That's why when I often tell this to my friends, or even mostly everyone, that swearing is an art. You only say it at the right time, at the right place, to the right person. So you don't say it every single time. One of my pet peeves, to be honest, just to share, is that they say swear words that are not even relevant to the situation. And I was like, what?
We just ran out of vocabulary.
Yeah. But,
you just want to sound cool. Like people do that. You know, you pretend like you're oh, come on, I'm a bitch right now. So I'm like going to throw every swear word I know. But the truth is, it's nonsense, you know.
Yeah, that's the reason why these words, as words, they still have meaning. So as words with meaning, you have to use them properly. Don't just lay it on the table all over the place. So yeah,
Pepper
even though it
everything.
is good, yeah, yeah. Although it is good for you, you need to exercise a certain level of mindfulness as well as a certain level of control whenever you exercise such thing. Justin,
And
your
also,
take.
Yes, I would say it is good for you because you're showing that you don't take anything not too lightly, and you are showing confidence enough that you're trying to get your message across, of course. But it's like saying that even though you're not listening, but I will be the bigger person. Like I'll bark louder than you because you're not even listening to what I have to say. It kind of has a boiling point when you are gonna add something to it. When somebody is just not is being incoherent or just not just ignoring you, you will actually add in a swear word into that because you're showing that. Yeah, so I'm going back to showing dominance, and I mean, me, I love to swear.
Me too.
Situational, like do that, but you have to you gotta read your environment first, because you can't do that in a meeting room, or if you're in a bar or with your friends. Yes, that's when it's appropriate. But for me,
so you're telling us now that yeah, go ahead.
It's good. No.
We're kind of overlapping right now.
Situational. Swearing is good for situational purposes. So for
right. If it demands some respect,
yes,
go ahead and swear. Right. Yeah, true. But if you're just cursing for the sake of wanting to sound like you're the boss, then it's not good at all.
Well, yeah. I mean, they will define you as a bitch, a weak bitch.
You're the Karen, definitely. The Karen kind of bitch.
There we go.
Yeah. Not the boss bitch that we want to be. Right. We have a comment right here from one of our viewers. Norlin replied, and she said, let me just pull it up. If they call me a bitch, well, it's a compliment for me simply because I don't care what people think about me. If they like me, good. If not, okay. Leave me alone. Ayaw ko sa pabebe. Mas magkakasundo tayo kung prangka ka din. Whoa! So that's her definition of a bitch, describing her own self. Like me or not, I'm good. And you just have to be straightforward about it. You don't have to ipa-plastic mo ko or magpapabebe ka towards me. She does not appreciate that. Yeah. All right, ma'am, you're a bitch. Good job for you. No, again, we are throwing the word as if it means nothing. But what we're really trying to point out here is that you're an empowered woman, and you know who you are, what you are, and you're taking a stand for it. Naako mo yun, and you're not shy about it. Cool. And we appreciate women who are like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Because if we make a survey right now and there are 100 of women in one room or men in one room, and we ask who here is a bitch, I don't think a lot of people will raise their hand because nobody will admit they are. We all want to be nice. We all want to be nice, but the truth is we all have some degree of bitchiness in us. It's just that we're not developing it because I don't know, the culture does not permit us, or we're too shy to be judged. Or there could be a misconception of us na, this person is kind of negative, so this person is a bitch, and hindi siya masayang kasama, something to that effect. And then another comment right here. My husband said, "What's up, bitches? What's up, dog?" And then Alan said, "If swearing or cursing is an art, I might be a PhD holder."
Congratulations.
Good for you, doctor. Well, anyway, Dr. Curse, science tells that it's actually beneficial to curse. But, in addition to what you've already mentioned, besides making a point, asking for attention, respect, which is due for you or in the situation, you also have to remember that if you're really the good kind of bitch, you don't just simply curse at someone.
Yeah.
Like you could throw curses here and there when you're upset, like F this, S that. whatever curses you use. But if you're really cursing at somebody, I don't think that makes you a good bitch. I think that makes you a mean person.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we have to establish that too. It's okay to curse at the situation if it requires it, but you don't really curse at the person.
Well, unless if you really are really that deep, your friendship is quite deep.
Oh yeah, if you're a friend.
Yeah, if you're really that to that level of friendship we're in, those kinds of words actually just run by. It's okay sometimes, but if these are random strangers or maybe someone that you just someone you just met, I think you can't just utter those words all of a sudden, especially if you don't have this very deep relationship yet.
Or probably if these are your workmates too. Like probably you're the boss in the company or in the office. You don't practice your being superior by cursing at them. You know, you could be the boss, you could be the bitch, but you still have to be professional about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I said
definitely.
It's
so we just have to clarify that because baka maisip ng mga... Go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say it's based on the situation and your environment when it's appropriate.
Yeah. But you know, when you're all alone in your room and you're really pissed, galit ka na sa mundo, go ahead, curse. You know, I mean, it's therapeutic. I do that. You can ask my mom all day in, day out. When I'm already tired, I'm like, and after that, I feel better. I feel better because it's like releasing the negativity and all the bad vibes and tension. So it's fine. Okay. Just don't do it in public. You might be tagged lunatic. All right. Another message from Roel Torla. He said, hello, ma'am. Hello. Thank you for joining the live. And I want to say hello to Mamang Sen Galvez who's watching right now. Hello, Mamang. I miss you. I've not been doing live streams. Thank you for visiting me. I've been busy like you. So anyway, let's go to number 3 right now. It says right here, you don't get caught up in your emotions. So a bitch is somebody who's not really emotional. Justin, do you have the file with you? Can you read it for us? Number 3.
1 second.
Cool.
See, like it's early in the morning and excuses, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, number 3. You don't get caught up in your emotions. You conduct yourself with force and never get overwhelmed by your feelings. You're just not particularly emotional person. People say misunderstand you and think you're cold, but really you just prefer to focus on the logical facets of the situations you face. Nothing of use can be finished if you're constantly a wimpy puddle of tears.
So a bitch is somebody who is not emotional, but rather logical. I don't know. I'm confused right now because normally I'm emotional, but then again, I'm also I'm logical. So am I a 50-50 kind of bitch? But anyway, according to the article, it says there that you'd rather not cry over spilt milk or you'd rather not cry over problems. Rather, you'd approach them using logic, solve them right on, and you don't really get caught up in your own emotions. What about men bitch? How do you solve problems? Like if you're a man bitch?
I'll take this.
Okay.
What I think is when a man bitch uses common sense and logical thinking quickly enough to not fall into the emotional thinking. For example, if it's a heavy traffic, what's the common sense there? Find the best route and avoid having to road rage. When you pass the line of not the positiveness of the man bitch, you just turn yourself to the weak man bitch because you just turn into the emotional state. If you use your common sense and try to avoid the situation, you'll go to your point B faster than the situation. Yeah.
So what you're telling us right now, given the example na kunwari nasa daan in traffic, tapos siguro nagkagit-gitan kayo ng konti nung sasakyan, a good man bitch would say, nah man, it's okay, I understand. Let's just, resolve this. Give me your number. Let's call each other when we're free and we'll fix it immediately. But a negative kind of man bitch would be, yo, dog, you ruined my car. So you don't really have a hold of your emotions.
Yeah. Just taking the situation in your own hands, the best way possible, without leading into being a weak bitch.
Cool. And not a lot of men are like that. Some men, when it comes to their cars, their toys, they're very sensitive. Right? I mean, that's their pride and joy. If you bump into my car, bruise my car, I mean, I'm gonna get you. Something to that effect. What about you, Drew?
It's hard when you try to distinguish the word bitch for separately for men and women. But if you, how can I explain this? In one article that I've read, that personality trait is very much, or that word is pretty much characteristic to females. And we don't often hear it with males. However, in the changing dynamics, especially on how females are now empowering themselves more, that word also incorporates in itself being androgynous, meaning that for women, for instance, they incorporate within themselves qualities that are previously defined as masculine. So they're not just feminine, but they're also able to be masculine as well. So that's the reason why for individuals who say that they are bitches, they have this vanguard to with themselves to safeguard their emotions. They don't easily show that emotion because first and foremost, they don't easily trust people that quickly to entrust them with their feelings. So it's similar. It's similar with men that we don't show our feelings all of a sudden or in with this validity. Parang hindi halata yung emotions namin. We really safeguard it. So equally with women who have this kind of trait, they have this same dynamic as well. Kasi unang-una, yun nga, they have these issues with trust. So before they even have to initiate that trust to other people or give that trust to other people, they have to safeguard themselves first. Okay? So yes, we could say that they are for these individuals, they might be very assertive, they are aggressive, but you also need to consider that they're also at times egoistic. So they really need to focus on themselves first, and then eventually they are able to expand their constellation of others. Constellation of others.
Wow, that's deep. It's like, you know, like a quick tour to somebody's mind. Diba? Parang, why are some people cold or why are some people indifferent? And it's just because they're trying to protect themselves from potential hurt or, I don't know, trust issues like what you've mentioned, right? And that's the case for the men. But for women who are wired and, I don't know, genetically designed to be emotional, it's rare to find a woman bitch who's really in control of her emotions. And that's why when you find one, you know, oh yeah, she's a queen bee. Because it's easy for us women to just burst. I mean, I don't know, we're, like what I said, we're emotional. We rely on emotions, on impulses, on instincts, and sometimes it gets the best of us. Tapos marirealize na lang namin yung reaction namin or yung naging action namin after we've already done it, you know? But a bitch, according to the definition of it and the article, she or he is someone who has control over his emotions or her emotions, and she would rather approach things with logic, brain. Okay, and it takes a lot of practice to do that. I think you don't really get to be that logical overnight. Hindi eh. It has to go, you have to go through certain numbers of experiences para masabi mong, I've been through this, I know how to handle it, right? Kalma lang, guys. You know, you don't have to be emotional about it. We don't have to rush into it. This is how we do it. Right? So I think if you consider yourself a boss bitch or a bitch, a lady bitch or a man bitch, let us know if you have control over your emotions. And I want to say hello to the people who are watching us right now. We have Mary Jade Avila Lalata, RJ Guevara, Al Calma, Larissa De Leon Dizon, Christian Mariel Timpog. Yo, dude, your brother is watching. Elnes Lalo is watching. My mother-in-law, Libia de Ramos Habon, is also watching. And RJ Guevara said, hello, ma'am. Hello, my dear. And Rydel Joy Lasquite Angeles is also watching us right now. And that is for us, number 3. Now let's go to number 4. If you're a bitch, your friends are the realest people. It only means that, you don't belong to a company of friends na plastic kayo sa isa't isa. Ibig sabihin, you're very honest to each other. Okay? It says right here, people worry themselves into a frenzy over their FOMO, not you. You have no FOMO because you're at the center of every party. You're a bitch and the queen of the friend group. You have a very close circle as there are a few people who can handle the real you, pointed and sometimes harsh opinions. Only the strongest of the strong can F with you. If I may say this, in live broadcast, my circle of friends with Drew, I think we have this kind of relationship. Yes. I mean, we don't sugarcoat things with one another. We throw S to each other and we just like it that way. I mean, we don't have to pretend around each other.
You have to clean it up first, No,
but seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously, if you're a bitch, a man bitch or a woman bitch, your friends are the realest people because they know you don't tolerate toxicity and plastic situations. Right? You'd rather tell me straight to my face what you don't like about me, what you don't want about the situation, rather than talk behind my back.
Yeah.
No filter.
Because because if your friends are like that, I'm pretty sure if you're the bitch in your circle, you'll snap. Yeah. Definitely, you'll snap. Diba?
Yeah. If I might add with that, going back to it, this is in relation to what we've discussed a while ago, that people with these kinds of personalities, they're selective with people, especially if they get rejected. So if I get rejected, then I will reject you back. It's as simple as that. For these kinds of people, they tend to feel those who can take it and they will make it. Kumbaga, those who yung may kayang makisabay at yung may kayang dalhin yung ganitong personality na meron ako, then those people are the ones that I will really embrace and I will not let go of. Kasi nakakaya nila. They can tolerate it. Unlike with other people na, after one meeting, after one moment na they get acquainted, wala na, tapos na. Kasi bakit? They don't jive. They have nothing in common maybe, or simply there's no spark between them. So ganun lang siya.
What about with men? Like, how do you choose your pack? If you're a man bitch, how do you know you're my boy? I mean, through thick and thin, we're together.
We brawl. No, just kidding.
No. Actually, I wanted to add that because at first approach, one of my guy friend who became my best friend, we kind of had a situation. We kind of brawled, but not physically. But then I realized that, oh shit, he's like me. We're just cool at the same time. We just will bark, but at the same time, we're just like being real to each other. But if I have another group of friends who went to high school with me, one of them, he is a personal trainer. So that's how he controlled his own thing. He became a man bitch he worked on himself. And I knew that, okay, I need him in my pack. Because if I can't understand why I'm feeling this way, he'll be real to me. Once he told me, hey, Justin, think about this. F this, F them, F yourself. Because nobody can help you. Only you can help you. So I knew that click too, that he actually became part of my wolf pack.
Because you've seen the same qualities that you possess as well, and you know that this person is real towards me.
He will not sugarcoat it for me. That's why I figured out, that's what he was trying to intend.
I think what we see the dynamic here is that when
but you know what? I have. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I was saying was if what we see here is that whether it's for men or women, the dynamic here is always the realness of one person to the other. And generally speaking, with a lot of relationships, that's where it really comes to a very deeper realm of in terms of your relationship, because now that you know each other, parang, yeah, you still have a certain level of privacy, but in terms of how deep your relationship is, it's not just a mere acquaintance, it's not just a mere friendship, it's really something deeper. So that's the reason why you're able to understand each other more, and you're able to tolerate each other's personalities, because you understand the good and the bad with their personality traits.
And I just want to insert this discussion. For the boys, it's actually easier for you to be friends with one another kahit na alam yung pareho kayo na man bitches. You're the alpha, and it's fine that there are two alphas in your pack because you could be friends. It's just that with girls, with us, if the other girl is a bitch, we find it difficult to be friends with a girl kasi there's this subtle competition that's going on. Alam mo yun? Like, I'm the better bitch. No, I'm the queen bitch. So if we are in one circle, we have to, I don't know, fight for that position pa. There's that kind of dynamic sa mga babae kasi. That's why, dun sa isang pinanood ko na TED Talk by, I forgot her name, let me look for it. Tabitha Coffee, that's the name of the speaker. Sabi niya, bilang mga babae, we shouldn't be calling each other bitches in a very negative light.
Yeah.
Na parang if you recognize na yung kapwa mo babae is a bitch, celebrate her. Alam mo yun? Respect. Yes, empower her. Respect her confidence. Assert her value bilang isang babae. But the thing is, with us girls nga, in the kind of society that we are in, parang kami mismong mga bitch. Kami yung nag-aaway-away because we want to get a better position against each other or next to each other. And like with you men nga, parang, alright, there could be two alphas in the pack. Sa aming mga babae, if the friendship is not genuine, parang nagiging plastic kami sa isa't isa because we know that we are the better bitch. Parang we want to be the better bitch. Parang ganon.
Well, let me add to that. If you said that a competition to that bitch, right? That's because it's also a law of attraction to that bitch, because guys will be all over her, and why she's getting all the attention. Well, it's because like us guys, we love confidence. If we can talk to you and like carry on a conversation, that's what empowers her. That's why with other lady friends, they kind of find that offensive to them because like, oh, they're not worth enough. So that's what becomes a competition to like, okay, I'm gonna dethrone you. Now I'm the bitch. So I agree on that part.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if the other ladies watching us right now would agree. Pero sa amin ng mga babae, there's a certain...
It's okay.
I don't know. I mean, ako personally, I don't mind if I am friends with another bitch. I would be proud because I have a friend who is headstrong, confident, assertive, empowered, independent. And I would actually be able to make her my role model. Like, you know what? Someday I'm going to be just like you. Even better. But, I don't have to assert myself right now. We could be friends regardless. Kaso nga, may mga ibang babae, if they see that a girlfriend is a competition and that person is a good kind of bitch, minsan sila yung nagiging bad bitches and they try to badmouth the other person. So the friendship does not become real anymore. Para na lang siyang nagiging, yeah, we're a circle of bitches, but, I'm the better bitch. Alam niyo yun? Yung ganong effect. Which is not good. Which, sums up number 4 na if you are a bitch and you want to be friends with other bitches or people who are not bitches, you just have to be real to them and they just have to be real to you. Walang plastikan. Because bitches don't like drama nga. Just have to be real to each other. Okay, and that's number 4. Okay, let's go to number 5. You never bottle up your emotions. In contrast to the other one a while back, you don't get caught up in your emotions. Yes, you are logical, but then again, when it's time for you to express your emotions, you say them out loud. Okay, and you don't mind being vulnerable at times. I think that's the very essence of this number. Letting your emotions be known is a total stress reliever. Those who bottle up their emotions are doing serious harm to their health. If knocks years off your it knocks years off of your life and even increases your chances of getting cancer by 70%. As a bitch, you always speak your mind and are never one to be timid about your feelings. You're empowered rather than stricken with fear of societal judgment. I think this is case to case basis. Like in America, probably Justin, a lot of women are very outspoken. But in our country, in the Philippines, because we are more on the conservative side, not a lot of women are really empowered or are encouraged to speak their minds because that might be impolite or, doesn't show respect. Your thoughts?
No, I agree. Right here, they're very no filter. They can because here in America, it's part of our Bill of Rights, the freedom of speech. So whatever you say, it's for you. You can do whatever you can say whatever you want, and you just stand by what you just say. So yeah, I agree.
But here in the Philippines, when a woman speaks up, and she talks about her emotions, parang nagiging siyang weak in the sense na nagiging siyang madrama. Because she has to spill out her emotions, pero ang nagiging perception ng society dito, madrama siya. She has a lot to say. Okay, madada siya. But the truth is, she just wants to express and assert what she feels. Kaya lang hindi ganun ka-welcoming. Okay, hindi ganun ka-welcoming because the perception is kadramahan yung nangyayari. But we also have freedom of speech, no? Right to freedom of expression or expression. Yun nga lang, yung perception, yun yung negative.
Yeah.
But a bitch does not care at all. Call me drama queen, call me whatever, but this is what I feel at the moment, and let me tell you about it. And she will tell it or say it in a nice way. Okay, in a nice way. Still, no filter, okay, not holding back. She'll give you her 2 cents pa rin, no matter what. Ganun siya. That's a bitch. Drew?
I'm trying to organize my thoughts because I have certain things that I really want to say regarding this item. Maybe maybe saying the word drama for this item is not that necessary. Because going back to what I said a while ago, for individuals who consider themselves having this kind of personality, they live in a very androgynous state, meaning they carry not just the female. For women, for example, they just don't carry the female side of them, but they also carry a masculine side of them as well. So, in terms of their emotion of expressing it, I think they're able to express it not in a very dramatic kind of way, or they're
if they're a bitch. If they're a bitch,
I mean, it's not a means for them to spotlight whatever experience that they have. It's not a way for them to get some attention. No, it's for them to straight away tell other people, this is what I'm feeling. I feel hurt. I feel maybe offended by what you did. Did you get what I mean? It's not something that I'm sad and you're showing us a very sad thing. You for these people who have this kind of personality, they are able to really understand the dynamic of their emotions, and they can say face front to that person, you've hurt me, I'm in pain, but basically they still know how to carry themselves.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Parang,
I get you.
Ganun yung sinasabi kasi it's so different when you really are emotional. When you are emotional, you're filled with emotion and you live with that emotion and express that emotion. But you, on the other hand, that you're able to relay the emotion in a very controlled state, that in connection to very high emotional quotient, for example, that you're able to understand the dynamic of your emotions as well as controlling it. Doon mo kasi mapapakita sa ibang mga tao Na parang, yun nga, if it's with the examples that I stated, na you tell the other person, you've hurt me and I maintain. I'm sad because of this kind of situation. Pero kaya mo pa rin dali ng sarili mo. I think that's the essence of number 5. Yes, you are correct with the aspects of, it might be by age, it might be by gender, it might be by cultural backgrounds. That is true. But there will be a time sa buhay natin na dapat kaya nating dalhin ng mga emotions natin. Hindi tayo ang nagpapadala sa emotions. Parang ganun yung sinasabi niya dito. I think that's the point, yung pinaka-point dito na yun nga. Hindi tayo dapat nagpapadala sa emotion natin. Tayo dapat ang nagdadala ng emotion.
Okay? And we shouldn't bottle them up nga. Kailangan i-express natin sila in a very confident and respectful manner pa din. Yun nga lang, ang pinopoint ko naman was, yung isang bitch, for example, sinabi mo nga kanina, like, I was hurt, you did this to me, and I don't feel good about it. Meron kasing mga taong sasabihin na ang arte mo naman. Diba? Yung reception. Yun nga. Diba? Kaya nga, most of the time, yung mga babae dito sa Philippines, or even the other men na, they're very afraid to express what they feel because of the feedback that they're getting. Walang reciprocation na, okay, sorry if I offended you. I didn't think it will offend you. Kung sanang ganun yung response, but it's not generally the response. Sometimes merong response na ang arte mo, ang drama mo, para ganun lang, magre-react ka. And if somebody's a bitch, small thing, big thing, if it hurt her or him, he'll let you know. Kasi nga, he doesn't bottle up he or she does not bottle up her emotions or his emotions. Yeah, but good point, Drew, when you said, don't mind them. Because that's the attitude of a bitch. We don't care. Diba? As long as we were able to tell you what hurt us, what offended us, if you don't apologize for it, that's on you. As long as we said our piece, we're good. Right? Cool. And we have a comment right here from Sir Edward Inong. He said, let me just up it. Magandang gabi po, Ma'am Kat, to your guests and sa mga taga-subaybay po ng show. Napaka-Tagalog ni Sir Edward Inong. Magandang gabi din. Ginoong Inong.
Magandang gabi po.
Kami ay nagagalak at ikaw ay naririto sa aming munting, what's show in Tagalog? Programa. Nah, seriously, thank you, Sir Edward, for being here. We appreciate it. And let us know your opinion on the matter. It's about being bitchy. The good kind of bitchy. Okay? It's not the Karen type of bitchy. And that's for number 4. Or number 5, rather.
5.
And number 6, your bitchiness leads to self-criticism. This I like. You know you're a bitch, okay? And you're not afraid to criticize yourself for all the negative stuff that, you possess. Aware ka, bitch ka, but you acknowledge that you are also flawed. Dude, can you read it, Drew? Number 6.
For number 6, your bitchiness leads to self-criticism. You are your biggest critic. Your opinion is the only one that matters to you. So it should be no surprise that you spend a lot of time on self-reflection. You go to the gym often and take good care of your health. You are your number 1 priority. You don't want anyone to have a reason to call you out for being a bitch when you have no right to be. You're a hot bitch and you know it. Gusto ko yung last part.
You're a hot bitch and you know it.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Totoo yun.
Kasi kailangan mong patunayan na bitch ka. So how do you do that? Self-reflect. Self-criticize. Diba? Justin, you're saying?
Just wait. I was going to my example with my my best friend who's a personal trainer. He gave me that reference first because he want me to wake up from it, like my whiny negative bitchiness. So he actually empowered my bitchiness to be a better person, because you have to do some self-reflecting, because sometimes you're just all over the place, and what he was telling me, dude, stop. F him, F her, F them, then F you. Meaning, like, yo, understand what I'm trying to tell you, because sooner or later you will, and then come back another day at the gym, and he actually felt a different side of me, because alam niya, like, that's how he was. He knew that, okay, Justin was not himself before, but damn, that guy changed. So that's why I have that kind of friend to actually see my weaknesses and my strengths. So he actually empowered my strengths to go through my weaknesses.
And to accept your weaknesses.
Yes, accept.
And work on them. Yeah. That's how you grow as a bitch. No, hindi ka naman pinanganak na bitch ka, strong ka agad. No, actually you start weak and then you realize I have enough of this weakness. No, let me make a self-assessment. What am I lacking at? Okay, I look bad. Let me hit the gym. I don't know much. Let me go to the library and read more and enroll to a class or whatever. I'll empower myself. I'll improve myself. And through that, you gain confidence. And once you gain confidence, you feel empowered, then you start becoming the good bitch that you are. Right? And now that you're already on that status na bitch ka na, you don't just, enjoy the status quo. I'm a bitch now, hindi. No, yeah. You still have to sit down. Okay, now that I'm a bitch, what else should I improve on? Diba? Because I need to prove that I'm really a bitch. I just couldn't claim that I'm a bitch and then di pala ako deserving of that title that I'm giving myself, right? So you self-reflect, you criticize yourself nicely, okay? Not to the point that you will feel depressed or commit some unnecessary activities just because you feel bad about yourself. But you do that. Check and balance.
Yeah.
Drew?
I think, ito na naman ako, dahil po iniisip. bakit kung kailan naka-on air tayo, yung mga kailangan kong sabihin, doon pumapasok yung mga information. Pero kapag nag-prepare ako, wala akong maisip. Pero
it happens.
Dito, please take note that this kind of personality is not something that is crystallized or something that is innate. It is something that is developed through time. Maybe when you were younger, you're able to find out something na parang similar to that, pero hindi automatically that you'll be like that forever. Pero in terms of of being bitchy, trial by fire kasi yan eh. Darating sa puntong something will make you and break you. And during the moment that you are broken, that is the most important time wherein you have to rise up. And that's the time wherein you become more sensitive about certain circumstances or the experience. That being sensitive is not being weak. It is more of you being able to accept yourself about your nature and your capabilities. Kaya nga, you become very much you're able to, it might seem hard to overcome those bitter times, pero eventually kasi talagang, naiintindihan ko ng sarili ko, kaya ko pala to, hindi ko kaya yan, and so on and so forth. So during those moments then, you're now becoming critical about who you are and what you are. Kaya nga at the end of it all, kapag alam mong nagiging true bitch ka na, masasabi mo sa sarili mo, I know what I want, I know the people that I want to be with, I know the person that I want to stand by my side for the rest of my life. I know the person that I am that I am today and maybe for the rest of my life. Kaya nga alam mo yun, kaya nga sasabi natin na if you have this kind of personality, dinadala mo ang sarili mo. Kaya mong dalhin ang sarili mo. Na you radiate that certain level of confidence and worth. Kaya nga, actually, it's really good, be bitchy. Like, snap it. Snap it. Yeah.
Actually, what you're trying to tell us right now is that there's no one specific bitch on this planet Earth who never suffered in the beginning. Yeah. Like probably the queen bee that we know, siya yung pinaka talagang dumaan sa pinaka. And then she needed to pick herself up again or himself up again. Like a phoenix, sabi mo nga, from the ashes, rise again. And that's the attitude of a good bitch. Never giving up, right? Always bouncing back and always self-critical. Kasi nga, hindi ka lang nagpe-pretend na bitch ka. You're aware. Okay? Like probably today I was too aggressive to that person. Probably I was too mean to that person today. And you would be willing to apologize if you need to.
Yeah.
That's self-criticism.
Yeah. Kaya nagiging sensitive ka sa ginagawa mo eh. You're not just aware of it, but you're also sensitive with the words and actions and even the thoughts that you just processed. Kumbaga, yun yung essence kasi nun eh. Hindi kayong basta-basta na, oh, I will be bitchy and I'll be mean like every other girl that I know. No, that's not it.
Yeah, exactly not it.
Works.
True. You were supposed to say, Justin, your...
Yeah, no, I just got if something popped up in my head. There was a coworker. He tried to start a conversation with me while I'm in the middle of doing a lot of tasks. So in my head, he asked me, "Do you play this?" I was like, "Nah," and I just walked off. And then he came back inside, confronted me. He was barking at me, saying, "I don't like your attitude, blah blah blah. You know, I was trying to be nice to you." So the word that he said, I was being the phrase he said, "I was being nice to you." How come are you being nice to me if you are barking at me? And my response was, "It's because I'm busy." So in a way, I kind of told myself, "Damn, I can't believe I had that kind of level of how self-control I have." Because I told myself before, I was like that. I will bark back, but I wouldn't. Because one, I have other things, important things to take care of. Because it's my responsibility to take care of my own job. It's not my responsibility to do your job. So good thing I was like, wow, I have that kind of power within myself that I didn't have to talk back to this kid. I know what's my self-worth. I just walked away. But also, I actually told his supervisor about the situation because one, it's unprofessional. It was during work hours. So I was like, whoa, I can't believe I actually told myself that kind of level of critique, that don't even say anything, bad back, because you became the weak bitch. I became a better bitch that I didn't have to escalate the situation.
Fist bump, dude. You're now the queen. You're now the queen man bitch. Yeah, that's actually a good example of, containing yourself and being able to acknowledge that, okay, you're aggressive, passive aggressive, but I don't have time for this, I'm a bitch and I'm busy. So I'd rather not. Good. Yeah. And I hope that's also the kind of attitude that our viewers will get from this one. Like, I want to be a bitch. And exactly how? Try to control your emotions by being self-critical and knowing when to bark and where to just keep quiet.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Kasi sabi nga nila, ang taong palaging maingay, walang laman. It's like a tin can with nothing in it, an empty tin can. Kapag naglagay ka ng konting piraso, you shake it, it's very quiet. But if there's too much in it, it's noisy, but if there's too much in it, quiet siya. So be like that too. Know when to be the quiet one and know when to bark.
Let me quote of the legendary Bruce Lee. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. Put water in a cup, becomes the cup. Put water in a teapot, becomes the teapot. Water can flow or creep or drip or crash. Be water, my friend. What I put that always, what he always refers is that you need to control yourself. Because don't let it control you. Because if it controls you, you just lost that situation. So good thing I was like, damn. I mean, even though everybody knows this quote and know who's the legendary Bruce Lee, but you need to understand what he's really referring to. It's actually referring to yourself.
Yeah.
Wise words, Master Justin.
Yeah. All right. Let's call it a day. Let's no longer go to the other numbers.
Keep going.
I mean, we got the essence of being a bitch already. We got it. So, mic drop. No, anyway, we have a comment right here from Sir Edward Inong. He said, sorry, Justin, you're out of the screen right now. Let me just shift. There you go.
That's okay.
Number 6 is a very good topic on the course, understanding the self, right, Sir Drew? Interpersonal communication naman on our discipline, right, Ma'am Kath? But at the end of the day, I think what's the important thing is to do is that whether we acted bitchy or not, we should reflect on the things that tama ba ginawa ko, kind of asking to oneself. Definitely. We agree.
I think what he's referring to understanding the self is the first few chapters wherein there's a concept of introspection. Yeah. Not to be the technical. Yeah, but in terms of introspection, you're able to understand and become aware of your thoughts and your feelings and your behavior. So you internalize what happened across the day. How did I do good? Did I do right? Did something bad? Did I say something bad to another person, and so on and so forth. So yeah, you have a very good point, Sir Edward. Very good.
And I couldn't really stress it more. Na, if you're a bitch and you acknowledge your mistakes, you're actually the better and the bigger person. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make you less of a person if you know your mistakes and you are willing to apologize for them. And not a lot of bitches will do that.
Yep.
The fake ones.
Kaya nga, ano yan eh. It's a trial by fire. Only the true bitches will come out of that fire. Na talagang they would definitely be able to become self-aware and to commit with the mistakes that they've actually done.
Yeah. And it also takes maturity too. Kasi, younger bitches would just be, nah. I mean, just the attitude. But really, the substance, nah.
I don't call them bitches. I just call them annoyances.
Girls with attitudes. Girls with attitudes. Right? Okay, cool. That's for number 6. Number 7, you enrich your mind. In relationship to number 6, you self-criticize. And so when you know that you're lacking on this department, you do something about it. Because, you acknowledge you're not perfect. So what do, Justin? You enrich your mind. Number 7.
Number 7, you enrich your mind. Your vocabulary is chock full of wild idioms. Since you spend a lot of time insulting people, your words have to be your most powerful weapon. There's a big difference between a bitch and a smart bitch. You have a perfectly groomed collection of vicious words that can bring any adversary to your needs.
To her needs.
To your needs.
Basically what this article...
Oh, man.
Yeah. What
words
this sub-article is telling us is that it's okay. You just have to be an intelligent bitch or a smart bitch. If you express yourself, you're vocal about your emotions, be sure that when you express them, you use the right tools, you use the right words, and you're very articulate. Otherwise, you will look stupid because you claim you're a bitch, but you couldn't even articulate yourself properly, and so it's gonna be, what the heck? You're gonna be a Karen and a Linda, definitely. So you have to enrich your mind, not necessarily on vocabulary, but, read, educate yourself, not book intelligent or book smart, but more so life smart. You know what you're saying. And you're accountable for what you say. And you're articulate. You know how to formulate words and sentences to make your messages sent across clearly. Stuff like that.
What I was thinking, because it also depends on the cultural base. Like for example, if somebody has an accent and they're trying to be, Filipino term, social, and they're trying to act American, that's when you're like, wait, you gotta be careful what you say. That will lead you to be a weak bitch. If you can actually put the words together properly, that means okay, you actually got them, instead of like, you something like that, you kind of like stutter or you hesitate. That's when oh snap, you messed that up. But if you be confident enough with what you really say and stand for it, that means okay, there you go. Your words are powerful, much more powerful than before.
Okay, I guess what you're trying to tell us here is that don't pretend to know something you don't. Instead, try to learn it first and then do it, apply it. Yeah, and that's how you enrich your mind. Yeah, in terms of language use, vocabulary, or other stuff, political issues, cultural issues, current events, whatever. If you want to throw yourself out there, be acknowledged that you are a smart one, an intelligent bitch, and then you have to be knowledgeable. You have to back yourself up with a lot of information. Otherwise, like what I said, you're gonna look stupid. Right, Drew? I'm thinking again, Drew.
Yeah, I am. Well, Well, for one thing, item 7 is very particular with the usage of words. But I think beyond words, I think it's more of when you say enrich your mind, it's also enriching yourself with knowledge, with the skills and the attitudes and other specifications that you need. Because as you get older, from a young Padawan, now you're now a Jedi. So I'm a geek. I watch Star Wars.
I know what you're saying.
From a young Padawan, eventually a Jedi. You are very much familiar because you self-criticize. You're now familiar of how different you are with the rest of with the rest, and eventually you take in certain experiences, certain jobs, maybe participate in certain events or organizations, and it's for that reason that I don't want to sit still. I want to enrich myself. I want to hone my skills. I want to take in information, be creative, assume a certain degree of responsibility. Kasi yun nga, they are not limited with the space that they're in. Okay? They know what they want. They know how to deal with things. So eventually, I won't stay here. I need to level up myself. I need to go beyond where I am today. So ganun yung parang enrichment of the mind that they have. They don't leave themselves. They don't settle with something that's less. Because they know that they know that they are capable of doing something more.
And we're back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry for the technical issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, though I couldn't see you now, Drew. You were saying.
It's okay. I think it's. I just mentioned a while ago that we don't want to settle for less. We know that we're capable, and that means that we want something more. That would benefit ourselves more.
Yeah. So there's always growth. If you want to become a bitch, you have to enrich yourself through growth. Okay. It may be, skills, education, abilities, and whatnot.
Yeah.
You don't settle for what you already know. You just want to improve better. Okay. And that's being a bitch, growth, being progressive. All right. Number 8 would be you're always the authority on everything. And let me read this part. Your friends look to you for everything because you always have an opinion. You don't sugarcoat and you'll give the hard truth when it's needed. You're decisive as F and you know exactly what you do and do not like. You're direct and therefore never get a hang up on decision making. I think we could all testify to this one.
Yeah, I was about to say that, but for my end, because I am in a field wherein there's a system of how to communicate properly with other people. I start that at first, but eventually, especially with my friends, especially with you guys, I start with that level first. But once I realize that, let's flip to the other side. Let's go to the darker side. Let's do this. Let me be on point. Sasabihin ko lang to, ha. I'm just saying this not because I'm frustrated. I'm saying because I'm caring. Yeah, you are like this and like that and like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it's true. I mean, in our circle of friends, where everyone is a bitch, we don't really compete against each other, pero we see this. You don't sugarcoat. We give the hard truth. Right below the belt pa, we say it. And I like the last part where it says you're decisive and you know exactly what you want and you do not like. And you just go to making decisions if there's a situation that needs to be addressed. Walang paligoy-ligoy. Alam mo yun, walang iyak-iyak, walang whatever. Let's talk about it. Let's approach it straight on. And it's time efficient too.
Yeah. Alam mo yun. I mean, at least you have more time to listen to the person, and then eventually, once you're able to synthesize and process, it's quicker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't have to beat around the bush. You don't need to, okay, let's just do this. 1 minute. Okay?
That's why probably I don't like meetings.
What do you call this?
Meetings.
What do you call this?
No, not this kind of thing.
Not this kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Not this one.
I know what you mean, but like formal meetings.
Yeah.
Yes,
I get what you mean, V. Based on the experiences that we both had, and we mostly are the same. We are near each other, and whenever there are some certain discussions, and we just look at each other and then look back again. If you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my point is
long to discuss and find resolve.
I don't like useless conversations. That's me. I mean, what do we have to address? Tell me right now. What do we have to do? Let's fix it right now. Let's not waste time. Exactly. Yeah. That's just my point. Let's not waste time. That's why I don't like really long meetings, irrelevant discussions. Just tell me what I have to do and what would I contribute, and I'll do it. Ganun lang ako. I mean, it's as simple as that. And I think it's a good quality of a bitch kasi nga, we know our priorities. Iba? We know when the discussion is not going anywhere anymore.
Yeah. Maybe if in line with your example, if everything is in a systematic kind of way wherein you know where everything leads to, and there's no round the bend conversations or whatnot, maybe it becomes it is substantial. But if in between there are like certain random stuff coming out, and then all of a sudden, why do we have to discuss these things? Why do we have to sugarcoat it?
Yeah.
Why do we have to add it in the conversation, even though it's not actually part of our agenda, and so on and so forth? Yeah, it would definitely be not much of a quality of a person with this bitchy attitude because, we just know what we want. A person with this kind of with attitude is on point, is blunt. And they don't necessarily need to add some extra things that are not necessary for certain circumstances. That's the reason why we don't like drama.
Yes, exactly. Just go straight to the point, diba?
Yeah.
Justin, you were saying?
No, I'm just trying to think back with my group of friends because they always come to me if they have a situation or my own opinion. I'm like, I'm going straight to the point, straight for the kill. Like, dude, I don't like this. You gotta fix yourself. I don't, I'm kind of weird because if you see me being quiet, there's two things: I'm thinking a lot, or I'm feeling some type of way towards somebody. But also sometimes that other people don't see that, like within myself, that, dang, Justin's feeling weird out. I can tell, but I don't know why. But I will open up to say it to your face. But at the same time, it's best to do it one-on-one because I don't like having other people around because it will create drama, being biased. But also that one of my friends' girlfriend didn't want to say anything when he asked, "Babe, are you okay?" You're kind of quiet. And I said, "Hey, we're friends here. I'm open-minded. Just say it." So that's when it comes to the point that, like, she's saying something, but she doesn't want to say something. But I initiated it. Like, just say it. That's when I'm like, okay, I'm hearing what they're saying. I'm analyzing it. All right, this is what I say. This, and this. Like, oh, the attention is different. Oh, okay. In a way, I don't like. There are times where I don't like being the mediator. Let's say I don't like being in the middle. At the same time, okay, I'm trying to get to the point of this, so you don't have to increase the situation. So being a really good bitch is taking that decision of like, yo, you got to take that lead, so people will understand. Okay, so I can shut up and let him talk, and listen, and okay, I could have just, take care of the situation even better than Justin.
Cool. And that's among your friends. I mean,
yes, among my friends. Among my friends.
Cool. And yeah, that is basically number 8. You're the authority on everything, and you're decisive. You don't want to waste time. You don't sugarcoat things. You just go straight for the kill, like what you said. Cool. And speaking of going for the kill, we'll go directly to number 9. But before that, let me just say hello to my sister-in-law, Cristel Chi, Ina Ramos, and Trix and Castrens Lansangan. They're watching us right now. And number 9 would be, this is one of my favorites. You're always completely yourself. Andrew, could you please read it?
For item number 9, you don't spend valuable energy trying to be someone you're not to please other people. You're always completely yourself, and you love yourself. Some people might take offense to your forthright manner, but those type of people can seriously suck it. Suck it. You're comfortable in your own skin, and that's a beautiful thing.
Exactly. That's why I said it's one of my favorites. Kasi parang, basically, if you want to be the good kind of bitch and you want to be a strong bitch and the queen bitch, don't pretend to be somebody you're not.
Yes.
And don't try to please everybody. I mean, I've been there. I've been always nice to everybody to the point na, I make compromises na kahit hindi na ako masaya, I still do things just to please other people until I came to the realization na, why are you doing this? Even the simple way of saying no to others, I had a hard time. Correcting that. And now I could already say no to others if I don't want to do something. Parang, come on. This is 2020. You don't have to be nice to everybody. You could be respectful to everybody. You could be nice to everybody. But do not pretend to be somebody you're not just to cater to their demands or expectations of you. Something to that effect. You just have to be yourself, talaga. If you want to become a good bitch. What about you guys?
Have you noticed that being too friendly invites a lot of disrespect?
Oh, I love that. Say that again.
I can't read it. Have you noticed that being too friendly invites a lot of disrespect?
Mm-hmm. You should have told me that before.
No, I saw that and I actually told I told one of my friends, like, yo, because I said I'm like that too. But you just had to realize that you had to build your own walls up. Don't let penetrate, don't let them go through you. Because I've noticed that, wow, when you read that, like, just repeat that in your head, I'm like, whoa, that's actually true. So that means I have to readjust myself to actually not disrespect me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's tough. It's really tough when it comes to that. You surround yourself with people that, okay, I kind of expect them to be like this, but no, actually you got to expect yourself. You got to make sure that you can back it up. Like if there's one person like, oh yeah, I can help you, man, don't worry about it. But then another day, I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, you were like this before. Well, so that means you gotta like readjust yourself so you don't have to put yourself in that situation. Like, okay, you have to put yourself farther than them instead of like being in that situation.
Mm-hmm. But I like that. I like that.
Can you clarify what I'm trying to say? Because I'm just like all over the place.
Yeah, we get your point. Like when you mentioned that if you're being too friendly, it creates disrespect or it invites disrespect. Yep. Yeah. That's true because you have the tendency to not be yourself anymore because you're being friendly and you just want to be loved by everybody around you and they think you're easy.
There it is.
Right. So you have to set some boundaries as well. Being yourself, you know your limitations, you know your boundaries, and when you present them out there, they'll respect you for that because they know that you know what you can offer them and you know exactly what you cannot do for them. And I think it's a strong trait or personality to be able to tell the other people around you na these are my limits, and you don't have to cross them. And I'm just being myself right now, so either take it or take me or leave me. Stuff like that. Mm-hmm. True?
Deal or no deal.
Yes.
True. I think for my take of it is that
Here, I hit my hair.
people with this kind of attitude would have a certain level of freedom and independence to showcase who they really are, accepting the corrupt side of them and accepting the beautiful side of them. That equates a perfect equilibrium with the construct of their sense of self. Why am I so deep in terms of my explanation?
I don't know, dude.
I think this has triggered you. This triggered you.
Why is it so existential? Anyways, so yeah.
It's a Saturday evening.
It is, and my brain is working on overdrive right now. Anyways, yeah. So there's this freedom radiating with you to express who you are. Yes, you have this ability to embrace that corrupt side of your sense of self, but there's also another part of you that highlights and celebrates the beauty of who you are, and that's very important. Okay, and it doesn't matter if there is a certain extent that you really have to consider certain people, especially if it's within the context of their society, their norms or tradition or whatnot. Pero for the rest of others who are looking down on you, parang there's that I don't really care about. I mean, I respect your opinion, I respect your whatever you are thinking, but I just don't care. This is me, and I'm comfortable with what I am doing, and I know that I'm not hurting anyone, and I'm not disrespecting the order of a certain an area or a certain situation. As long as I'm doing good and I'm not hurting somebody else, and I'm also comfortable expressing who I am, everything is fine. Unfortunately, that's where your others, yung mga Karens and Lindas, or yung mga evolution of Karens, yung sabi nga nila, na lumilitaw sila kasi hopefully sana hindi mag-develop ng Karen sa Pilipinas. So kapag meron mang Karen na humanda-handa sila ng content. Anyways, ay sorry parang nag-blurt out ako agad ng fair warning. Anyways, are you threatening them now? Anyways, yun. Kasi doon lumalabas kasi yung mga ganong nilabel na gano'n kasi they naapakan yung paniniwala nila na they think na kung ano lang yung paniniwala yung mas tama. Yeah, unfortunately, especially in Western countries,
cultures,
in cultures rather, parang it's parang alam mo, parang you do your thing and I do mine, pero at the same time then you also need to consider what's beneficial for everyone as well. Like for example, right now yung issue regarding sa mask. I mean, not to bring that up. You know this, Justin, regarding sa mask and the Karens and whatnot.
Of course.
So, alam mo yun, parang it's not just about you, and I know baka sabihin na that this gal or this guy is being bitchy or whatnot, but they lose they factor out the idea that wait. Even though you have that kind of attitude, you also need to consider what is the current situation, what should be done, what should be taken into consideration. So if that would be if that would be something to account for, i-account mo muna yun. Okay? And move to another parang dynamic na okay, I still have this bitchy attitude because I know who I am, I know how to carry myself, I'm confident, pero at the same time I'm still caring for other people. Ganun kasi dapat yung ideal kay papalo. Unfortunately, that's the ideal, but in reality it's way too different.
It's not happening. Yeah. And I guess what you're trying to say then, Drew, is that go ahead.
No, I was about to say I have so many documentaries from YouTube and whatnot, watching all of them, and I'm not saying that I'm a pro in identifying Karens or Lindas or ano pa yung mga younger version ng mga Karens. I forgot her name. Basta evolution kasi yun. Hanggang tumanda sila may evolution ng Karen. And man, they're so frustrating.
Yeah, of course. But because actually yesterday it happened at work, and this old lady got really mad at one of my one of coworkers, and she's raising her voice because she has her mask on, but at the same time, like I knew that she's yelling, not just because she's trying to project her voice. No, she was really yelling because it leads to more complaining, like why this, why that, and I told her, hey, that's a bitch. Like that customer was a bitch. But luckily, you knew how to take care of the situation. Because if it was me, I would learn how to hold my tongue and just go to the back room and yell it out. But I've noticed that we actually have a Karen today. Luckily, it didn't escalate anything. So one of the supervisors, they kind of told us, kind of like nod and just like, yeah, have a nice day, and like, damn, I'm just like, this Karen, why
so much self-control.
it was self-control with that with my coworker because when I was just working, just stocking the water, and then there was like customers around me, they're like doing this rotation. I'm like, what's going on? So yeah, I was like that, and then I was like, oh dang, luckily she knew how to like, because her tone was just like, okay, all right. But it was me, I'll be like, okay, all right, I'll get the supervisor for you. So it's done. But I've learned throughout my years now, like till now, you need to control your tone will escalate a situation to the good and bad. So that's what you got to remember, that you have to lead the situation instead of the situation lead to you. Because remember, if the situation lead to you, oh, then you're in trouble. Like, you'll be in the back room talking to your supervisor. What you did there was wrong. But because where I work is at Whole Foods Market, and that's that facility is different. There's different types of people who can or just there to get some groceries, and there's there who actually have feeling entitled that, oh yeah, I'm paying these expensive items, like, oh yeah, I have that powerful like expressive that, oh, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, I guess what the two of you are trying to say here for number 9 is that if you're a bitch, the good kind of bitch, you are completely yourself. You don't try to pretend. You have boundaries. You have limitations. But then again, you don't really exercise too much of self-entitlement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, you express yourself. You are very vocal of what you feel. You're opinionated, outspoken and whatnot. But then again, you don't cross the boundaries of other people to the point of disrespecting them and making a scene for yourself because you're seeking attention. Right? And that's not being the good kind of bitch. I mean, you're just an attention seeker, a self-entitled bitch, but not really a considerate bitch, a respectful bitch, or, the composed, very diplomatic kind of bitch. Yeah. So be yourself, but don't be too self-entitled. I guess that's the entire point of the banter. Yeah. Cool. All right. Now let's go to number 10. Well, this is a fun item. It just says here that if you're a bitch, you won't age. Because for one, you have the BRF, the bitchy resting face. The secret now, I don't look like 33. And then since your face is in a constant state of relaxation, your skin will never experience the wear and tear of time. But basically, this is, a fun dynamic in the discussion, because it says here, while people may fault you for constantly staring them down, you're both expressing yourself and cheating the aging process, so joke's on them. You just don't care. That's why you don't move a muscle on your face.
No, but maybe, just maybe, because we've been, in connection with all of what we discussed from 1 to 9, maybe it's because for people with this kind of bitchy attitude, they're not into the drama, and they're not putting themselves so much in the situation. They're not throwing themselves into the fire pit and allow themselves to burn. And they're the ones who's actually burning other people.
Other people.
Yes. That is actually a good take on it.
So that's the reason why they not really. It's not age is not the word, but it's more they slowly age gracefully. Siguro yun yung mas importanting, yung mas magandang take dyan. Kasi nga naman, it's better to age with grace rather than all of a sudden you're already in your 20s but you look so much like your 50s, and that's not good.
Don't be a Squidward. Don't be a Squidward.
Yeah, don't be a Squidward. Don't.
Yeah. Bitches don't age because for one, they don't cry. They don't get mad. They're not too emotional. They're vulnerable but not too emotional. So really, I mean, they're just confident. They're just confident. And kaya nga, ako sabi ko sa'yo, I don't look like 33 because I don't give a shh about things.
True.
True. And it's as easy as that.
Yeah, I'm like, that's cool. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Straight to the point.
Yeah. you will age by the numbers, yes, but in terms of attitude, disposition, outlook in life, even probably your skin, probably not. But in terms of numbers, yes. And as you age, you'll be more mature, more composed. Yeah. So that's number 10. Let's go to number 11. You build stronger relationships. Justin, how does this happen? If you're a bitch, you build stronger relationships.
Number 11, you build stronger relationships. A true friend is one who cannot only put up with your bitchiness, but loves you for it. A friend who loves you for you is the only kind of friend you can have. You're willing to go to bat for any of your girls, and they value you as highly as an ally. A bitch's relationships are as solid as steel because she won't stand anything for anything less. Man, I need to refill. Oh my goodness.
Don't worry, we just have 2 items left and we're done. Yeah, I know. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
But since you're a bitch, and you're honest to your friends, you're loyal to them, and it's automatic. It's imperative already that if you're an honest bitch, you'd be able to have real, genuine, and strong relationships with them. Not only with friends, but also with your family, because they know that you're a true person. You're a genuine person. And you're not faking it with them. Not just with friends, but definitely in the workplace too. With other people as well. Especially in the workplace. Because not a lot of people will be true to you. Diba? So if they know that you're genuine and you're honest, not the self-entitled type kind of bitch, but somebody who's really composed, confident, assertive, the good kind of bitch, then definitely in the long run you will be able to build a long-lasting relationship with them.
I agree on that one.
And Drew nods.
True. No, I have another part in my brain that tells me, no,
let us know that.
True.
Let's hear that.
Yeah. It is relatively true. Because sabi nga nila, your disposition about yourself attracts the people that you want to be with. So if you have this kind of level of confidence and this level of acceptance of who you are, and that's how positively radiate that to other people. You allow other people with the same kind of disposition to join your network, and eventually they will follow you. At the same time, though, especially in the context of culture, that you actually brought up the word workplace, kasi even in my specialization, which is in the workplace, you know how the Filipino dynamic is when they know that, oh, this guy or this girl, she knows what she wants, she's skilled, she has the knowledge, and so on and so forth, regardless of the title, maybe, regardless of the credentials that the person has. But because the person is so good, what happens is that they're also inviting the bad people to actually pull them down. Unfortunately, if you really are the true bitch that you consider, then they're actually putting themselves in the fire pit and not. Unfortunately, this kind of dynamic happens, especially here in the Philippines. However, I mean, not to generalize it, but in terms of certain here and there kind of testimonials, you will be able to hear these kinds of truths or moments na nangyayari sa workplace. Kaya, having a strong personality invites strong relationships, but at the same time, it also invites other
bashers.
Bashers and things people who actually pull you down. Yeah,
it's actually in our culture here in the Philippines. I mean, we don't really are fond of celebrating or empowering people who are strong and confident. We see them as threats, kasi.
Yeah.
You know that kind of dynamic.
Socialist.
Yeah. So, sabi mo nga, relative tong number na to. But yeah, no point, really. That's actually reality happening. We just don't acknowledge it kasi, I don't know, we're being subtle about it, but it happens.
Well, because I think it's between socialism and capitalism. Because here in U.S., it's mainly capitalism. And if you show that you're a hard worker and you can do more, you're actually increasing productivity. And when your boss sees that, you're actually you yourself put in a situation that you place yourself as a hard worker, that you are you're a team player, and you can actually adapt to help others, and they will see you. Okay, he's actually a key role, a really key player, a key role of in our team, that we can't lose this person.
You're an asset.
You're an asset. I was trying to say, but I think sa Pilipinas, and I think other side of the world, they're mostly not socialist, because it's like, oh dang, this person has more to offer. Dang, I gotta beat myself up and do actually a lot more than they do. So that's why, because I learned this in my management class. That's why it kind of got me thinking. I was like, wow, because there was actually an activity of different countries that, for example, Japan is like this. You gotta be upfront, and it's true or false. So I was like, oh wait, that's so true. In that us here in US, that we don't really like to bother others. We just like to do what we like to do, and if you contribute, that's good. If not, then you consider as a lazy person. In other countries, like same scenario, if you actually do something, you're actually showing a threat, and that, okay, I can do better than you, and I can afford a lot of things, and I can build more relationship business deals than you. So F off. I'm a bigger bitch than you. So in a way, it's a mix of positive bitch and a mean bitch. So it varies in any parts of the world.
Yeah. And if you remember the point that I raised a while back, yung sinabi nga ni Tabitha Coffee dun sa TED Talk niya, like if you see somebody who's also a bitch, do not be in competition with that person. Rather nga, uplift, empower, celebrate the person. Acknowledge that, oh, there's another me too out there. Diba? Kaya lang nga, yung nagiging association natin sa word na bitch, it's always negative when it's the others who are becoming bitches towards us. Yes. I mean, it's all right for us to become a bitch, but when others are also bitches, we try to pin them down. I'm the only bitch here. You can't bitch around too. Alam mo yun? So it becomes a toxic kind of society that we don't allow others to be strong and confident and whatnot because we're too selfish and afraid that they might overpower us. Which should not be the case. Which should not be the case. Yeah.
Maybe one day magka-Hunger Games, then all the bitches fight together. Then I'll volunteer as tribute.
Ooh, that's wait.
I'll do that. I'll volunteer.
Be careful what you wish for, because
it's okay. I would really wish for that.
The second movie was vicious. The second movie was vicious, so be careful what you wish for.
Because
exactly my point.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a good bitch. I'll just let you volunteer. I don't give a about that. No, I'm just kidding.
Be a pawn to the games. I'll sit here, be a king and a bishop.
No, I mean, seriously speaking, though, wouldn't it be nice if we live in a world where, if not everybody, at least most of us are bitches, and we celebrate that? I mean, we're proud that we have brothers and sisters who are also strong like us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be a nicer world. There's no competition.
A better future.
Mm-hmm. We build each other up. We are united. We help one another. We hype each other.
Sadly, it's not like that.
Yeah, sadly, it's not like that, because even as we age, we're circling with the idea of the I. It's me. It's always me. It's always me. So if there will be a dynamic that someone is another bitch like me, there's a moment of comparison already. Now, what does she has that I don't? What is she that I am not? So there's that point of comparison already.
And actually, that brings me to saying,
no, I will be the better person. I'll be
the better bitch. Yeah,
the bigger person.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, sabi ko nga, that brings me to saying that if you are insecure because there's another bitch, then you're not a bitch. You get my point? You're just a whiny, jealous woman or man. Because if you're a bitch, you wouldn't even get insecure. You'll acknowledge maybe the other person is better. How do you handle that? Probably you'll tell yourself, one of these days I'll be like you. I'll have that too. I'll drive that car too. I'll work my A off so that I could achieve all the things I dream of, but I wouldn't sit down, sulk, insult you, diba? Compete with you in my head, because that's not who I am. Should be the case.
And that's the reason why I told a while ago that this kind of attitude is a trial by fire moment. You will find a moment wherein you will be in your lowest of lowest. Na talagang, okay, let's do something about this. Let's do something about myself.
Let's fix it.
And then let's try to fix myself, or at least do something good about what the situation. Now, if you'll be there sulking, being that jealous, childish, immature person that you are exhibiting, unfortunately, you are never a bitch to begin with. You are just
exactly
jealous.
You're just jealous. Exactly.
There's actually a picture that I saw. Like, I saved this in my phone. There's a picture between right here. The guy is dwelling, and the guy is actually just finding finding his way out of there. It says, "This is about the two choices of life gives you in every person. Either you sit, sulk, and dwell on how unfair life is to you, or you can try and figure out how to make the bad situation work in your favor."
True.
That's what I always choose, letter B, because you have to expand your own knowledge. Now, okay, there's always plan B, C, D, all the way past Z, actually. Now, okay, try again. The more you fail, try again. The more you go down, get up. That's why it's more reflected to yourself now. Okay, your own competition, your only competition is yourself. Don't even stay in your lane. That's the reason why, like, when my friends see me, like, damn, Justin actually, even though I sound cocky and like, I'm like this, I'm like that. Like, no, I'm giving you information for you to actually wake up from. I say I'm the older of the pack, so sometimes I give the words of wisdom. But also I looked up to my other elders. Like, I looked up to Ate once, and I had a situation like this, and I was like, wait a minute. Instead of asking people, I gotta ask myself, what am I lacking? Can I really fix it? Can I fix it? If I do fix it, can I spread that knowledge? So that's why they see, okay, Justin can actually create. It's like the glue of this pack. We can't lose that guy. He's actually a bigger bitch than all of us.
Yeah, that makes you cooler, actually, to be able to establish that sense of maturity or level of maturity in you. Yeah. All right.
It takes a lot.
Wow. It takes a lot, actually. Now I'm like processing. I'm reflecting on my own maturity and my level of bitchiness, if I've achieved that certain degree of, self-awareness. Yeah. And I hope those people who will be watching this, whether live or replay, will also get to this point wherein they will self-reflect and try to assess themselves in a very positive way, so that if there's any room for improvement, they may do further, develop whatever needs to be developed. Yeah. So that is number 11. And now let's go to number 12. Assertiveness is a healthy trait. I don't think we need to dwell on this anymore, because we've been saying the word assertive, and it's one of the traits of, a good bitch, right? So let's go to the number 13, which is the last one. And it says here, you take time for yourself. And this I like as well. Bitchy people means, for number 13, they relish in their me time, because they are their favorite person, and they love a good spa day, and they can't get enough of face masks, and their biggest investment is in full body massages. They don't get caught up in other people's S, because they're too busy taking care of the number one, which is themselves. This is not just literally, pampering yourself with, lotions and spa day and whatnot. It's actually, bottom line, self-love.
Yes.
Right? Self-love. A bitch is somebody who knows his or her worth and is willing to love himself or herself regardless. What do you think?
I'll give the floor to you, Justin.
Oh, okay.
You're
Oh,
giving
yeah, of course. Kasi when I went through my previous relationships, through the breakups, I had to, because I lost myself. If I can find myself again, I can lift myself again, and I can actually be myself again. In a way, I had to go to that dark hole. I can reference this to Batman when he was in that prison cell that he couldn't reach to the top. So he trained, he figured out what ways to actually, jump through that. I'm talking about the Dark Knight Rises. So that's why I told myself, like, I used to be like this, and then I was like this. It took self reflection. That, dang, do I feel this way? Like, I didn't. I told myself I'm gonna prove others that I can do it. Then I realized that no, I should not say that. I'm gonna prove myself that I can do it. And it was being consistent with myself, being hard on myself, but at the same time that you gotta like separate yourself, because the keyword is yourself, you. Because I know we're being like ego, are narcissistic, but no, you're not. You're actually just trying to. You got to fix yourself. It's self-love and self-respect and self-loyal. Because and self-honesty too. You can't start with something that being dishonest. That means you're not being yourself.
Actually, I could I could relate to what you said. Like, after your breakup, you started from that image, and then you were telling us that you'll prove to others that you can do it. I actually could identify to that, because when I was too big too, I was like, one of these days, I'll lose weight, and when you come to me, I'll just directly ask you, sino ka? Parang, who you?
Yep.
Now that I've lost weight, who you ka sa akin? And then I realized that was an arrogant me. It was kind of an arrogant attitude that I had to put that front para lang ma-cover up yung insecurity ko. And then I realized the same thing that you did. No, I should not lose weight for anybody. I should lose weight for myself, for me to feel good, to be confident, to be empowered, to be a bitch, And so, I mean, for number 13, you take time for yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to spend a lot on yourself and buy a lot of products for yourself, just to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. But it's actually what's going on inside. Are you happy?
Yes, internal. Yes.
Are you happy about you? Do you celebrate you? Diba? If you want to be considered a bitch out there, do you even see yourself like you're a bitch, a confident woman, an accomplished woman, an independent woman, a high maintenance woman, or a man? Diba? Stuff like that. Okay, bye.
See you next time.
What about you, Drew? Taking your time because you're a bitch, or taking time for yourself because you're a bitch?
Yeah. That's why I'm taking my time to answer the question.
That's better.
That was a good one.
I think if the truest of bitches, no, don't want to be
the truest.
The truest of bitches don't want of a show. Okay, they want to be part of a very elaborate, comprehensive, beautiful, outstanding musical, not just any show. Okay. So I think, relative to what you're saying and to what I am explaining, is that it's something that should be relished. It's something that you should relish. It's something that you feel confident of yourself. It's something that's part of who you are. And when you're performing out there on stage, you feel it. That you're not fighting against who you are. It's just showing who you are to the rest of the actors or the production or even the audience. That you're giving that time for you're giving that time for yourself so that others might see you. Okay? You're giving that time for yourself so that you can allow other people to understand you as well. Kasi kapag sinabi natin na, uy, you're a bitch, baka sasabihin nila, let's still agree with the idea na most people would still see it as a very negative word. Okay? But
Yes.
now that we're with this episode na I think it's something beautiful that we need to celebrate. It's something beautiful that we need to highlight with the rest of those who consider themselves as bitches. Kasi we are the unsung individuals who are just parang or misunderstood. We are the misfits who are not that given enough understanding because of the facade that we show other people. Okay? So parang it is similar to what you said with the previous episode that we have about self-care, but more than just self-care, it's also something that it's a way for you to express yourself, to give time for yourself. Now, here I am, I'm here, and I'm beautiful, and I'm strong, and I'm confident, and thank you.
Yes, thank you. Slow clap.
Oh.
No,
Another reference.
Seriously though, sabi ko nga sa inyo in the beginning of the show, the reason why I came up with the idea is to actually change, the viewer's perception of what it is to be like a bitch. Because now it's said loosely. Alam mo yun, parang you just call yourself a bitch, you call somebody a bitch, you curse and use the word bitch as if it's just nothing. But in essence, really, being a bitch means you're a beautiful, confident creature of this planet Earth. Ba? Somebody who's self-made, sure about himself. So, yeah, wonderful. And I hope, people who will watch this stream, whether live nga or replay on YouTube, will get that gist, will get that point across clearly. That it's okay to be a bitch.
Yeah, honestly.
It's okay to be a bitch, but be sure you're the good kind of bitch.
There's actually a restaurant. Sorry, just real quick. I have to say this real quick.
Yeah, I saw that too. Go.
There's a restaurant in Miami. It's called the Bacon Bitch. So the essence of this, the concept of this restaurant, the waitresses, the waiters, the managers, the customers, they can say the word bitch in any content. It's like, bitch, give me my water, bitch. Or, bitch, what's your attitude, bitch? Yo, that's a cool bitch right there. Yo, bitch, I want this. So. In a way, because it became viral in video because there was different levels now. Oh snap! There's one customer who's actually being rude. Is not saying this as a joke, or they're saying that as a joke because the concept of saying the word bitch. So the waitress was like, "Yo," she came out of a character saying, "Yo, you're kind of rude right there. I don't accept that." Pero you guys created the restaurant. Your concept saying the word bitch, so you can search it up. There's a video about it too. It really relates to our episode.
TikTok. Yeah, I kind of saw it on TikTok, and the waitress was actually asking the customers, "Good morning, bitches. What could I get for you today? Hey, bitch, I want this." So yeah, I saw that concept. It was actually cool, kasi parang they're giving a different twist to the word bitch.
There you go.
They're trying to correct the perception of the society and what it's like really to be a bitch. And bitch is a positive word. Should be a positive word.
Should be, yeah.
Should be a positive word. All right, so let's wrap things up. What's your final take on it's okay to be a bitch? Is it really okay to be a bitch? I guess that's the final question we need to answer. Is it okay to be a bitch?
Yes, when it's appropriate.
There you go. Yes, when it's appropriate. Drew?
I think bitches have to learn to accept themselves as bitches and celebrate that. They have to be strong. They have to be assertive. to some extent, they have to be dangerous. They have to have their fangs, their claws, their wings out at some point. At some point. But eventually, you realize that having this kind of attitude is nothing that negative, but rather it is something that is beautiful, and we have nothing to lose when we have this kind of thing. Nothing to lose whatsoever. Okay?
Cool.
Be the bitch that you are. Be the bitch that you are.
No, actually, the other day I posted, just random thoughts in my head, and I posted it on my timeline, and I said, it's okay if you are not a weak woman.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I posted that because I feel like if you are a strong person, a strong woman, people perceive you differently. And I thought it's okay to say that. It's okay not to be a weak person. So if you're a strong person, if you're a confident person, if you're an assertive person, decisive person, an independent person, ergo, you're a bitch. Do not be shy about it. Okay? Embrace it. Be a bitch. And just like what Tabitha Coffee in her TED Talk said, she actually gave definition to the word bitch. She said B should be brave, I should be intelligent, T should be tenacious, C creative, and H honest. And so she closed her statement when she said, when somebody calls you a bitch this time, you say, thank you, I know, and I am the best bitch I could be. And that just that shook me. Like, wow. Now I have the permission, the license to call myself a bitch.
I would say a bit, cause I think the word bitch is always, like you said, always perceived as negatively. So I think we should let our viewers know that the word, when you say somebody who is confident and all that, put yourself in, define them as motivators, inspirations. So that's when I know it's different cultural base of that term, but at the same time, like, if you have to analyze that person, like, are they really being mean to you, or are they trying to be uplifting to you? Because I think when going to, for example, one of my friends who was actually went to the military, but they couldn't make it. I think it's in military, they have to break you down physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, so you can get out of there to gain to become a better bitch than you previously were. So that's when we need to understand that it's when I said use it when it's appropriate. That's because you have to analyze the situation, your environment, your surroundings, and the people who are you referring to or you're talking to.
Yeah, cool. And if anything, we have to consider these good bitches as revolutionists. Okay, because they're trying to change the landscape of the society in a good way. Way. We have to stress that always. Right? So if you're the bad kind of bitch, stop being that bitch and start being the good kind. And thank you.
Yeah. Be Glinda the Good Witch, sabi nga na sa Wizard of God. Wizard of Oz. Don't be Alpha God.
Yeah.
Baka kapunan ka ng tubig, matunaw ka.
Oh, snap. Snap.
But yeah, that's basically the essence of this conversation among us three. And I hope our viewers, will be able to get that point across na, sabi ko. Plus, the fun facts, the fun side of the discussion and whatnot. But we enjoyed this discussion. I did, and I hope you did too.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And so the replay of this live stream will be available on YouTube. Don't worry, it'll be tonight. Right now, we're just live streaming on Facebook. And then I'm inviting everybody to subscribe to my channel where you could see Justin and Drew always with me when we're doing live streams. And I couldn't really give you a definitive schedule just yet because, we're busy people. We're bitches. We had a lot of things to do. So we'll just pop on your screens every time we're free. And it was fun tonight, but we have to say goodnight to you guys. It's a Saturday evening. Enjoy it with your family and your friends. Like what I said in the introduction, it's a mental health day today. Take care of your brains, bitches. Yeah,
I'm in Miami, bitch.
Any shout outs before we close it?
To all my bitches there, stay positive, motherfuckers. Oh my goodness. Come on, lift everybody up. Don't be that bitch that put you down. Get rid of those bitches. Come on, bruh. We good. Let's put this party up. Get lit. No, seriously.
I get ya. I get ya.
Be a good bitch.
Drew?
Don't be a bad bitch.
Definitely. Final shout out.
Brother, sister,
You're
home. Take care. Always be happy. Keep safe. Be healthy. Always keep smiling.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is so much fun.
Informal, formal.
Yeah, I know. Anyhow, we have to say goodnight to you guys. Happy Saturday. Snap, snap, bitches. We love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Toodles, everyone.
Good night, bitches.
Ciao.
Au revoir. Bye.